Give me all your biscuits. Stick 'em up, pup. Give me all your bones. I'm not messing around. Imagine a life of shooting guns, robbing stagecoaches, and getting drunk in public. No, I'm not talking about spring break. I'm talking about the wild, wild west in the 1800s. Whoa there, Bubby. And particularly some mighty bad women of the Wild West, because despite the sexism of the era, and even though there are some varying accounts of what exactly happened back then, there were some women sharpshooters, outlaws, and all-around ladies that you don't want to mess with. Hart was born around 1870, and by her early 20s, she had developed a morphine addiction. When her husband left to fight in the Spanish-American War, she took up with a German drifter named Joe Boot, and the two started robbing stagecoaches together. According to one story, she stole $421 from 3 passengers, but she left each of them with $1 so they could afford something to eat. Now, when she was later arrested, she famously said, "I shall not consent to be tried under any law in which my sex did not have any part in the making." But nonetheless, she was still tossed away in prison for 18 months, and when she became pregnant behind bars, the governor of Arizona didn't wish to explain how something like that could have happened, so they released her. In 1856, a woman named Martha Jane Canary was born in Missouri. Now, you probably know Martha Jane Canary better as Calamity Jane. Historians think that she simply got her name from the fact that Calamity followed her wherever she went, because she was a pretty tough, sharp-shooting, alcohol-guzzling kind of gal. But she did have a soft spot. In 1878, she cared for victims of the smallpox epidemic in Deadwood, California, to the risk of her own health. As her notoriety spread around the United States, she cashed in on her infamy, writing an autobiography and also performing her tales in dime museums and appearing in 1901 at the Pan American Exposition in Buffalo, New York. But soon after, in 1903, she died from what was then called inflammation of the bowels, which we would call today alcoholism. She was buried next to Buffalo Bill. Belle Starr certainly earned her outlaw nickname as the petticoated terror of the plains. She quickly developed a reputation for hiding out outlaws on her farm to protect them from law enforcement, and then she herself got involved in lovely pastimes like horse thievery and armed robbery. Described as a hatchet-faced woman, Belle Starr eventually met her maker when she was shot in the back and the face while on horseback. The identity of her murderer was never discovered because some think that it was for revenge, which wouldn't be surprising because she kind of did a lot of stuff to attract that kind of negative attention. But in addition to her criminality, she also had a way with words, leaving behind a number of choice quotes, including, "Next to a fine horse, I admire a fine pistol and a fine black Labrador retriever." No, that's just my quote. In 1860, Phoebe Ann Oakley Moses, aka Annie Oakley, was born in Ohio. Now, little Annie didn't ever go to school because she made a killing just shooting animals around, selling them to the grocer, and ended up paying off the mortgage on her parents' house. The 5'0", 110-pound Annie quickly discovered that, hey, you know what? School's for fools. My gun's where my future lies. And so she was able to make her fortunes doing all sorts of crazy sharpshooting tricks, including shooting cigarettes out of her husband's mouth. And at one point, buddy, she shot a potato off her dog's head. I would never do that to you. Partially because, well, I'm scared of guns. As a professional competitive shooter on the side, she also racked up more than $100,000 in prizes, which in modern day dollars is a whole lot of dollars. She traveled to London at one point as well to teach other women to shoot because she highly advocated for ladies being good with guns, both because it's a pretty cool skill to have and also for self-defense. And after being immortalized on Broadway in the play Annie, Get Your Gun, she retired in 1902 when her hair turned white. So who are your favorite legendary women of the Wild West? Let us know in the comments below, and be sure to like and subscribe to What the Stuff. And if you want to learn about more amazing ladies of the West, head on over to howstuffworks.com and read the article 12 Renowned Women of the Wild West. How many more times can I say West? Kanye West. West by Northwest. West Egg. That's a restaurant, Bubby. Westwood Ho! Again, I think you just farted. All right. In 1860, Phoebe Ann Oakley Moses, aka Annie Oakley, was born in Ohio. And instead of going to school, she decided to shoot some animals. She sold their bodies to the grocer. People ate them. Okay. And she died. As did they all. And as will you.